Well, a very good morning, everybody, for Tuesday, the 1st of September. Wow, it is autumn now. Well, certainly the weather's been feeling that way recently, but we've seemed to come into a better run of weather for the next few days. And as we look at the synoptic charts, that's sort of been brought around by that area of high pressure, which has now sort of just started heading over Scandinavia. But over the next few days and into tomorrow, it is just going to keep far enough away, these fronts, that we do get one more good day before it becomes a little bit more frontal on Thursday. But for today, nice wide isobars, nice light winds, no real fronts in the way or anything like that, no showers, no thunderstorms, a really nice day. Just a little bit too much moisture at times. Winds, we're looking at somewhere in the region of variable, probably across most of the country. It's anybody's guess what the wind will exactly be, but no more than 5, maybe 10 knots if you go into the towards the coasts. But yeah, generally light northerlies at Lasham. At the moment, I think it's slight northeasterly. At the moment, if we look at the satellite picture, there's not too much sort of going on over the country. Some low-level lying mist and fog patches over the Midlands. Out towards the west, a little bit more clouds as it's a bit closer to the fronts, but nothing particularly significant. There was even a slight hint of a frost last night in Medstead, where I am, and it got down to, I believe, about 3 or 4 degrees. So yeah, definitely feeling a little bit chillier compared to 3 weeks ago, where we were roasting at 34 degrees. As there's not particularly too much in the way of fronts over us, there's not too much in the way of upper level cloud either. So as we can see there, nice and clear, nothing to really stop surface heating beginning quite early. The public forecast today is showing light easterlies becoming more northerly during the day, and bright start, but then a little bit too much moisture in the afternoon. A bit similar to what happened yesterday, but hopefully not quite as tricky. And top temperatures today, somewhere in the region of about 17 or 18. If we look on here, that looks about right as well. Hopefully, if we get a little bit more sunshine, we might see a degree or 2 more. Dew points over the country, nice temperature splits, looking sort of in single figures, maybe around 6s and 7s near here. At the moment at Lasham, we have a temperature of 15 and a dew point of 7.5, so already coming down, which is nice. And looking outside, nice clear morning. I'm about to move the launch point onto the runway, and grid is forming. So we didn't have really that many grids in August, so I don't think it'll take much for us to beat that in September. Let's hope for an Indian summer. Looking at top meteo for today, potential flight distance. Reasonable compared to what we've had over the last couple of weeks. Good out and towards the West Country, just in towards the Bristol airspace. Fortunately, good around the TMA as well. Not quite so good to the north and northeast, north sort of Dunstable area into Cambridge. There's likely to be more moisture and more spread out there earlier. So the best of the conditions down towards Yeovil and that area. If we look at 10 o'clock, won't be quite soarable about then, but by, let's say, 11, quarter past 11, we should be getting reasonable cloud bases fairly quickly here to sort of 2 or 3 octaves to around 3,500, 4,000 feet above the airfield. And then as we get past lunchtime, looking quite nice indeed, sort of 4,500 feet. Still good sort of mid to late afternoon out towards the southwest and up towards Wales, maybe a little bit too much in the way of cloud past the 7. Good out towards sort of the Fairford area as well, but as you can see, not quite so good into East Anglia, and especially if you sort of go sort of east of about Silverstone, it's going to get a little bit cloudier in that region. But yeah, cloud base will be topping out in some areas, maybe around 5,000 feet above Lasham, potentially if we get the right conditions. I can see in London they might even get 2,000 meters. Doesn't surprise me. All those cars going back in to the city. The site forecast sort of showing sort of usable heights of around 4,500 feet, weakening off in the afternoon as that spread out comes in. And if we look at the cloud distribution, around 11 o'clock, quite a lot of cumulus. Probably by by lunchtime, we're probably seeing 5 or 6 octas, and sort of bits of spread out that will come in at times. A bit like yesterday, there were occasional sort of patches which were not so good, but hopefully not as bad, I hope. But yeah, not so good out into East Anglia. That is sort of reflected, as you can see, by sort of periods where it might just shut down a little bit. So just be aware of that you might have to change gears a few times during the day. But certainly when we're launching you, hopefully we're going to have a slightly better sort of start sector than we did yesterday, as I appreciate it was quite cloudy at that point. Those surface winds, as you can see, all over the place, but not very much. I'll just have a look at the freezing level, simply because I know that it did look like it was going to be a little bit lower. Yeah, it's not going to be too, sort of 7,000 feet in places, so probably won't get there, but just be aware that freezing level is now below 10,000 feet, as we are getting a little bit colder, especially at the moment. That moisture, as you can see on the Hurstman Zoo sounding, unfortunately Larkhill don't give any soundings at the moment. I think they're either still on furlough or on holiday. Still showing a fairly sort of solid inversion around 5,000 or 6,000 feet, and that would take quite a lot to warm out. So it did at times in some areas get a little bit better, but as we look at the soundings for later, let's say 2 o'clock at Fairford, you can see there is a chance of it to get a little bit cloudier at that time. Still reasonable climbs if we get some sunshine to 5,000 feet or so, but quite a lid on those clouds, which I'm sure will cause a few problems. A bit earlier, it's sort of similar out that way, but a bit closer to the Better Task area, down towards Larkhill, let's say it's 12 o'clock. Still reasonable chance of a bit too much cloud, but the lines aren't quite touching there. Top temperature there of 18 degrees, and we're looking at about 5,000 foot cloud base. But yeah, so a day to be careful with that spread out. Where there's sunshine, it will be nice. Odium are reporting at the moment 3 knots from the northeast and pretty chilly 13 degrees, but that temperature will hopefully come up. And TAF, not really too much variable on few at 4,000 feet. So very nice indeed. Nothing really scary today, which is nice. Runway 27 will be in use, the NOTAMs as well. Fairford active from 9:30 onwards. Now, they do have a number of B-52s there at the moment. I think the U-2s might be there as well, but obviously, as I mentioned a few briefings ago, the B-52s do have a turning radius of half the south of England. So if you are going to operate close to Fairford, I would advise keeping a very, very good lookout, maybe even giving a call to Bryce just to double check. Obviously, it is Class G airspace, but 8-engine smoky things flying around are something not to be reckoned with. I think they're going to be here for some weeks yet. 23 is parachute dropping at Little Rissington. That's their normal cone all day. So surface 3,000 feet, 3 nautical miles, and then up to the heights we're flying at 3,000 to 6,000, 6 nautical mile radius. Again, Bryce as a radar can give you a help with that. They might not be too busy at times. 19 is paragliding, Eversley danger area active, and just assume that Boscombe's coming back to life if you are going to fly through that area. Said the military are going to come off their summer break. Out towards here, Little Granston air display. They're doing aerobatic practice all day today. Nothing too much else other than that. Usual Solent and Farnborough activations. Remember to get your transponder on if you're going to go in the Class E and remain VFR. So 27 will be on today. I'm not anticipating a runway change. I really don't want to go to 09 at all today with that wind, but there's always the risk when it's light and variable like this if we do pick up an easterly drift. No jet movements as far as I'm aware, not seeing any flight plans, but I am aware of some Navajo movements. I believe there's going to be an air test this afternoon followed by departure. So just keep an eye out for that. It'll be on the radio. Do form a grid. I'll try and get as many tugs as we can. I know we have at least 3. Might be able to get an extra one. but no, one tug's on maintenance at the moment. But yep, come and join us on the grids. Another nice day tomorrow. I've just sent out an application for a NOTAM for tomorrow, so it looks even nicer than today. So if I don't see you today, I shall see you tomorrow. Have a good day, everybody. Bye for now.